Good morning and welcome back. We are looking at the Bible in a year, and today we've reached day 312. We are looking at those parts of St. Matthew's Gospel that are unique to his Gospel and are not found anywhere else. And we're still right near the beginning. We're at Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 to 12, and today we hear the story of the arrival of the wise men. Once Jesus had been born in Bethlehem in Judea in the days of King Herod, unexpectedly Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem. They were saying, "Where is the one born to be King of the Jews? For we saw his star rising in the east, and we have come to pay him our respects." But having heard, King Herod was anxious, and all Jerusalem with him. And having assembled all the high priests and the people's scribes, he asked them where the anointed one was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem in Judea, because it has been written by the prophet like this, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, in no way are you insignificant among those who govern Judah. Out from you shall go a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi to a secret meeting. He asked them for the exact time of the star's appearing. Then he sent them to Bethlehem and said to them, "When you get there, make careful inquiries for the young child. And when you have located him, bring word back to me, so that I also may come and pay him my respects." Having listened to the king, they left. And look, the star which they had seen at its rising was still there in front of them until they arrived, and it was standing above where the little child was. Seeing the star, they celebrated with overwhelming joy. And when they came into the house, they discovered the little child with Mary, his mother. Then they paid him their respects. Then they opened their treasures and offered him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And having been divinely instructed in a dream not to return to Herod, they withdrew towards their own country on a different road. Back on day 24, we looked at what the Star of Bethlehem might have been. In Matthew's day, astronomy and astrology were the same thing, and events in the sky were often interpreted as signs for us on earth. For more details, please do a search for day 24, where all is explained. The Magi, or wise men, were not kings, but probably Zoroastrian scholars who were well known for their scholarship and were employed across the empire as advisors in scientific, administrative, and mathematical matters. Our faith today does not include astrology, horoscopes, or UFOs, and we do not rely on them for evidence of God's work or God's will. Matthew is providing for us a backstory based on Herod's well-known paranoia about the legitimacy of his own claim to be King of the Jews, that will eventually see Joseph and Mary refugees in Egypt to fulfill an Old Testament text, as we shall see tomorrow. In addition to Herod's paranoia, we also have the gifts and their significance. It doesn't say how many Magi there were, but there are 3 gifts of some significance. They knew something about who it was they were looking for, so they brought appropriate gifts to pay their respects to him with, gifts that each told a story. Gold. Gold was and remains today a medium of exchange and a symbol of economic power. It stands for the consecration of the work and the money earned by it to its source, to God himself. Then we have incense. Incense stands for prayer, for a way of consecrating our hearts and minds to God, and putting at God's disposal our time, our will, and our intentions. And then we have myrrh. Myrrh was used for the embalming of the dead, and that is the deepest mystery of all, the consecration to God of all that we are and all that we can be, until we place ourselves totally in his hands. The journey of the wise men is our journey too. We have to seek God and to find him, to offer him our work, our will, and in the end to surrender all we are to him. There is power and depth in this story, and it should not be neglected or dismissed as mere fiction. Tomorrow we read the story, unique to Matthew, of the Holy Family's exile in Egypt and their eventual return. I'll see you then.